Hey, Pi Tribe, buckle up for a new episode of the Passive Income Examiner, the #1 podcast for budding entrepreneurs and business owners looking to diversify their income with passive strategies. Welcome to Season 2, focused on building successful online businesses with evergreen marketing solutions. I'm your host, Lindsay Sutherland. Thanks for joining me. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode here of the Passive Income Examiner. Today I have an exciting guest. I'm truly honored to have with us Gloria MacDonald. Gloria, you're a coach and you help people build network marketing businesses that are all encompassing, right? Is that your focus?
Yes, absolutely. Network marketing and affiliate marketing. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's dive in. First of all, share yourself with us. Tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of how you got to where you are in life.
Yeah, so I started off in network marketing. I know a lot of people are like, network marketing, not so sure about that. But hang in with me here because I'll tell you why I love network marketing. So I started off in network marketing 44 years ago, believe it or not. And I struggled and I struggled and I struggled and I was an abysmal failure. And then fast forward, I had a career, in the corporate world. I had a job and I actually loved my job, but the dream, the vision of network marketing and what the residual income could be, and totally unlimited income, truly unlimited income, that was huge for me. So I ended up creating my own business, not a network marketing business. And it was a multiple 7-figure business. It was a matchmaking service, believe it or not. And after 13, 14 years of that, the business fell apart almost overnight. That's a whole nother story. But I was 56 years old and I lost everything. I came razor close to having to declare bankruptcy. And my husband cashed in all of his retirement savings so that we could survive. And I had to reinvent myself. And so I ended up getting back into network marketing, but I did not want to do all of the old school, make a list of 100 people, call everybody you knew. I did not want to do that. That was loaded with rejection, been there, done that. So I figured out how to reinvent myself and really become an online marketer. And I consider myself an online marketer, and the vehicles that I use just happen to be in the network marketing and affiliate marketing space. So kind of a long story, but that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, you're the first person I've invited on the show that focuses on network marketing. And the reason I think for that is because I think there's a stigma out there, and I want to tackle it, about network marketing is not passive, or it is passive, or, like there's so many questions about what it is exactly. And we understand, reoccurring income, money coming in from a customer who buys the same product each month, like maybe like a Melaleuca product where they buy their same kit every month, right? And then there's the residual income when your team comes along and then they're selling for you, you get paid. And then there's passive income. And so can you maybe go into a little bit of your definition of these and how you've kind of helped people get clarity?
Yes, and thank you for asking that question, because passive income and residual income are two entirely different things. And I think we need both. I'm a huge, huge, huge believer in diversification. I do not think any of us in this day and age should put all our eggs in one basket. So if there are network marketers listening to this, some network marketing companies say you can only be in this one network marketing company. We'll ditch that company. Like, that is so old school, and that is doing nothing but hurting you. So I think we have to have passive income and we have to have residual income. So passive income is where your money is working for you, or there's something that you're doing anyway that is working for you. So let me give you an example of passive income. Two different examples. Passive income could be something like, and there are lots of these now in the network marketing space, where you invest as little as $50 to maybe $300 and your money works for you. You never have to sell anything and you never have to recruit anybody. It's still a network marketing business. You can sell and you can build a team and you can recruit, but you don't have to. And 100% of people make money. So I'm involved in a couple of these things where you can start with as little as $300 and your money is making money for you, say in the Forex market. And that is truly passive because you do not have to sell and you do not have to recruit team members. If you sell, if you get other people involved, sure, you're going to make more money, but 100% of people make money guaranteed. That is passive income. Another example of passive income is where we're getting paid, and this is a whole new area of ethically sourced data, where we're getting paid for using the internet just exactly the way we're using it anyway. You just download a browser extension and your data is very valuable. So ethically sourced data is where you, the consumer, A, understands that your data is incredibly valuable. B, you give consent that your data is being used. And C, you're getting paid for your data. So another example of totally passive income is where you download a browser extension. Sure, you have to spend 5 minutes downloading the browser extension. And then you go about and use the internet the way you use it every day. And in this case, with one company in particular that I love, you literally, if you spend 30 seconds once a week validating that you're a real human being, not a robot, not a bot, you make money. And that's another company where 100% of people are guaranteed to make money. So that's another example of passive income. I don't consider 30 seconds a week of work, quote unquote work, tough. And I don't consider that work. So that's another example of passive income, where we're truly not working and you do not have to build a team. You don't have to sell anything. 100% of people make money. So there are a lot of those opportunities now in the network marketing world, which I love because so many network marketers have, well, not just network marketers, but entrepreneurs. This being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. And it's a lot of tough work, or it can be. Now, clearly, in both of those two examples that I gave you, you're not going to make millions of dollars totally passively. Well, you could in the first one if you invested enough money, but I'm looking at things where the average person that doesn't have $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 to invest in something can actually make money. And those are the things that I'm looking for, that, really anybody has access to and can make money. So that's passive income. Residual income is a totally different thing. Residual income is where you work and you put, in my experience, you put a lot of work in up front. Now, I'm talking about if you want to make 6 figures plus a year, right? If you want to make $500 a month, fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's totally cool. And you don't have to put a lot of work in. But for those people who want to make a good, solid 6-figure plus income for other opportunities, you can put a significant amount of work in up front, and then you get paid for that work you do month after month after month after month. And there are lots of great opportunities for that as well. I also always look for things where, it's not 100% of the time, but I would say 85% of what I recommend are things where 100% of people can make money without selling or without recruiting. I have a couple of things that I think are great opportunities that if you want to make money, you absolutely do have to either sell or recruit, but they're the anomalies. So residual income, you're putting work in up front, but then you're getting paid, and getting paid nicely, handsomely, for the work that you put in up front.
Yeah.
So big difference.
Right. Okay. So tell us about your business. Kind of how did you got started into network marketing. You kind of went to look at that again. You're reinventing yourself. Sounds like you kind of had the mindset of something like, I'm not doing it the way they're telling me to do it. I'm making my own rules.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kudos to you for that, because I've
Yeah.
definitely been there. It's funny, my husband and I were talking one day and I said, I look back and I've done a lot of network marketing, and I said, all of it could have worked. I mean, there was nothing wrong with any of them. It's that I didn't stick with it. Like I burnt myself out because I'm a workaholic, right? And back then I was especially, so I was like, I'd burn myself out. So then I'd be done. Or, I remember when I was like 20, I was in Primerica and I'm like, I felt like a fish out of water. Who's going to take financial advice from a 20-year-old? Like it was just a strange feeling, and so there was just like nothing felt me, you know what I mean? And I was making really good money in the car business. So I was like, well, here I am. I'm just going to do it. But I've thought about it. Like if I went back to do anything like that, I would do it different. I would definitely focus on an online marketing thing now with everything I've learned. And I would just reinvent the wheel. So I'm really eager to hear how you went about that and like, what does it look like for you?
Yeah, so I decided that I was not going to call up any friends, family members, text them, email them, been there, done that, ixnay, never doing that again, never, ever, ever. And then so I decided I wanted to learn how to market online. And this was about 6 years ago. Yeah, it'll be 6 years ago. 6 years ago in September. So, just a little bit shy of 6 years ago. And I didn't know anything about online marketing. I mean, really nothing about online marketing. I had posted on Facebook maybe twice in my life. I wasn't active on Facebook. I wasn't active on LinkedIn. I did have a YouTube channel, but I would post the odd video and, I would post the odd video for my matchmaking business, but it got so few views, it wasn't funny. So I took a course actually, and the lights started to, click, something clicked on. I was like, oh, I get it. This is huge. And the network marketing companies don't teach this, but I realized that I could communicate one to many as opposed to one to one, one to one, one to one. And that is all I do now. I communicate one to many. Perfect example. Doing this show with you, I'm communicating one to many. So I do not, text people or pick up the phone and call people or even get on Zoom calls. I mean, I will every once in a blue moon get on a Zoom call one-on-one with someone if there's something that's quite complicated that needs to be explained, or if it's a high-end thing where, you've really got to, somebody's paying $20,000 for something, you're going to have a one-on-one call for them. But I have a whole team of coaches that do that. So I built an email list, and that has been the single biggest key to my success. The standard in the industry is that for every name you've got on your email list, you make about $1 per name per month. Well, I don't have a big email list, but I have a highly profitable email list because my average is about 5 times that. So for every name on my email list, I make about $5 per name per month. So I realized that I was going to use social media. Look, the whole purpose of social media, if we're using it for business, is to take people from online to offline. Like we've got to get them off of Facebook, off of LinkedIn, off of YouTube to purchase our product or join our team or whatever. So I got people from LinkedIn, ended up being my thing. I fooled around on Facebook. I tested ads and ads and ads. I spent so much money on ads on Facebook. It wasn't funny. And I started off making a little bit of money, but then the algorithm changed. The price of ads went through the roof. And it's like, oh, spent so much money on Facebook ads, been there, done that, not doing that again. So I decided that I was going to try fooling around on LinkedIn. And I just went to LinkedIn and I basically pressed every single button there was to press, and I figured out where it went and where it was going to go. And I created my own methodology for connecting with highly targeted prospects who were already looking for what I had to offer. I had a mentor years ago who was a multiple 8-figure earner, and he used to always say, what you want wants you. And he was absolutely right. Your ideal prospect is already looking for you and what you have to offer. So I figured out how powerful the targeting is on LinkedIn. It's insanely powerful. It's so much more powerful than Facebook. And it's so easy to target your ideal prospect on LinkedIn, and it's not on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And the number of groups on LinkedIn about all kinds of stuff that you would never really imagine that are on LinkedIn, it's insane. So anyway, I created my whole methodology for how to target my ideal prospect on LinkedIn, get them to opt into my email list. And I built this email list, and then I communicate one to many, one to many, one to many through my email list. I really build a relationship with people through my email list and video, because video is huge. In my mind, video is the fastest way to take a prospect from cold to warm to hot without them ever meeting you. So I built this email list, I built relationships one to many, and I turned those prospects into customers and team members. And that's how I did it.
Now, are your videos on LinkedIn, or are you putting them on a website? Are you communicating them out to your email? Where do you build your?
They're everywhere. So I now have 3 very powerful YouTube channels. I've really learned now how to optimize YouTube and use it as a search engine. And YouTube has now, for me, surpassed the power of LinkedIn. They're 2 very different things. So I use both of them. I use LinkedIn to get prospects, and I get lots of great prospects from LinkedIn, and I do turn them into customers and team members. I've really built my email list 95% from LinkedIn, but I use YouTube as another super powerful place. Again, it's this whole concept of what you want wants you. Your ideal prospect is looking, they're searching on YouTube for what you have to offer. You just have to figure out the keywords. What exactly is your prospect typing into YouTube to search for what you have to offer? And so you have to do keyword research. You have to understand that YouTube is a search engine. So you optimize the search engine. And so I've cracked the code on that. And now the amazing thing is I get new team members every single day who I've never spoken to. I don't have a clue who these people are. They're signing up, they're joining my teams because of my YouTube channel. They've watched my YouTube videos. And the beauty of YouTube is that people will do all kinds of research. They'll watch lots of your videos, so that not only do they decide they want the product or service that you have to offer, but they also decide they want it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's zero rejection, absolutely zero rejection.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to kind of figure all that out? Like you said you've been doing it for about 6 years. I mean, did you feel like there was like a real turning point at maybe like, a certain point? Yes. What was that?
Yes. The first year was, oh my gosh, it was grueling. I bought course after course. I spent bucket loads of money. I racked up so much credit card debt. It wasn't funny. And honestly, I thought, what am I missing? What is it that all the 7-figure earners are doing that I don't get yet? And honestly, it was time put in. The first year was absolutely grueling. I invested so much money in so many courses. I racked up so much credit card debt. I honestly thought there was some secret that the 7-figure earners just weren't sharing. And I was like, what is it? What am I missing? And honestly, it was just time. You have to put in time. You have to be patient, and you have to be 2 things: absolutely patient and absolutely rock solid consistent. I work my business 7 days a week. And, I do something on my business pretty much 7 days a week now, but I was working 14, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And do you have to do that? Well, if you want to be 7-figure earner, probably, to be brutally honest, if you want to make $500,000 a month, no, you don't have to do that at all. But yeah, if you want to have a significant business and impact tens of thousands of lives, yeah, you got to put the time in. So it was just being rock solid consistent and super patient And one of the things I learned was that these multiple seven-figure earners, even multiple six-figure earners, are prolific. So they're out there everywhere. They're creating content everywhere. So I said, I've got 3 YouTube channels. I'm all over LinkedIn. I absolutely have a presence on Facebook. I've got a presence on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest, so you've got to be out there. I've got a podcast. I've got a blog. You've got to be out there, and you've got to be like, people are saying, oh, there's that Lindsay Sutherland. Oh, wait, isn't that the same Lindsay Sutherland I just saw on YouTube? Oh, wait, that's that same woman who's talking about passive income, and I just saw her on Pinterest. So you've got to be prolific. You've got to be everywhere so that people start to recognize you. And you've got to give value. So I have so much free content out there. It's not funny. And I have absolutely found that the more I give, the more I get in return.
Yeah, definitely. So what was that turning point? Was it after that first year, or was it 2 years in? I mean, everybody kind of seems to say around 18 months, but I'm curious what you're.
Well, for me, it was a little bit sooner. So I started in September of 2016, and I was at a conference in May, June of 2017. So not quite a year later. And I remember there was a panel discussion. I remember this so clearly. And the moderator saying, okay, you lost everything. All you have is your computer. What do you do? And there were, I think, maybe 5 people on the panel, and there were a bunch of people that were in their 20s and 30s. And there was one woman who was in her 60s, I'm guessing, late 50s, early 60s. And I related to her because that was my age, right? So she said, I would do webinars. And for whatever reason, her saying that just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I went home and I said, I'm going to do a webinar. I don't know how to do a webinar, but whatever it takes, I'm going to do a webinar. So I did a webinar in August of 2017. August of 2017. And I created my own program, and it was on how to use LinkedIn. It was for network marketers, and I made $3,500. And to me, that was so much money. It was like, oh my gosh, I made $3,500. I mean,
yes,
I laugh, but it was a huge turning point.
That is a huge turning point.
And then I had somebody say, well, Gloria, why don't you offer coaching? And it was like, duh. It was so crazy that I hadn't thought of that, because I was doing coaching for network marketers before I went down this whole road of trying to figure out how to market myself online. So in September of 2017, I decided to take those people who bought my course for $47 and upsell them into one-on-one coaching. And I made $35,000 in September of 2017.
Wow.
It's like, whoa.
Yes.
And then by January of 2018, so just 4 months later, I made over $160,000.
That's incredible, Gloria. Like, really, that's so cool too. I love the transformation. I love the realness of your story, and just like the struggle was there, because we've all been there wondering what in the heck we're doing.
The struggle was real.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it was real. But I spent that whole year from September of 2016 to September of 2017 building my email list, building my email list. And I emailed my list 7 days a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not miss emailing my list. I was rock solid, and 7 days a week, I made new connections on LinkedIn, and messaged those people and offered them a free guide, a lead magnet, and got them on my email list. And then I continued to communicate one-to-many.
Yeah.
And it was because of that email list that I was able to sell $3,500 worth of my first ever online course. And then from that, upsell people into my coaching.
That's phenomenal. Okay, really quick. Like, let's just unpack it and give some people some like tangible stuff they can use. Like if you were to say, simplify a strategy, pick one, maybe it's gathering emails on LinkedIn, or how do you find the right prospect, or maybe some tips of trade that you know that is kind of an uncommon thing, or maybe it's a YouTube thing, pick something that you're really good at that people can walk away with today to go implement, right? And to start building that email list. What would be, something that you might throw out there?
Well, today, I mean, every platform changes, right? And they constantly change. So today things have changed. LinkedIn is still good and I still highly recommend it. However, it is not what it was when I started in 2016, 2017. So today, the strategy that I would recommend if you're only going to do one thing would be YouTube. But you've got to understand it, and you've got to understand how to optimize it, and you've got to understand it's a search engine. So YouTube is crushing it for me. Now, here's the thing I'll say about YouTube. Once you understand how to do keyword research, which is not difficult, that might sound crazy scary to people, but it's not difficult. Once you understand that, once you understand how to optimize your video titles, once you understand how to create an eye-popping, attention-grabbing thumbnail on YouTube, and once you understand how to write a description, it's not that much, it's just 4 things. Once you understand that, then you have to become rock solid consistent at doing videos. Now, here's the thing about YouTube. I've created 3 YouTube channels, and one of them I already had, but doing 1 video a week, just 1 video a week. It probably takes an hour and a half to 2 hours. Now, I can pop out a video super quick. I do one and done. I don't do multiple takes of a video. I'm very comfortable on video. So for me, doing the video is like 5 to 7 minutes max, because you don't want to do really long videos, especially when you're starting out. 5 to 7 minutes max. You have to do more than 2 minutes to get the YouTube algorithm working, but 5 to 7 minutes. So, I pump that out in no time. And then it probably takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to do the keyword research, to optimize it, to create the thumbnail, and do everything behind the scenes.
Wow.
But that's, let's say it's going to take somebody else longer because they have to figure out what they're going to say in a video, and maybe they have to script it a little bit, whatever. 3 hours a week to do 1 video.
Yeah.
Right. And what I found is that I got nothing. I got crickets, absolutely nothing for 6 months. And then in the 6th month, boom, my YouTube channel started producing results. Yeah, started popping.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now, did you make it? You said earlier branding yourself. Is your YouTube channel your name, or is it your company name, or how did you decide to do that?
Because I have 3. I've got one that's Gloria MacDonald. I've got one that's, in fact, for your audience, I would highly recommend going to my passive income YouTube channel. So that's just gloriamacdonald.com/passive. That's a hyperlink that'll take you to my YouTube passive income channel. But it's about branding me. Yes, I talk about the various different opportunities I have for passive and residual income, but I'm not all about them. It's about me, my knowledge, me sharing information with people. So the whole channel is, positioning me as a trusted authority.
Mm-hmm.
So come to my channel and I'm going to give you great tips, great tools, great opportunities, great ideas. So that's what I mean by, branding yourself.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a great strategy. I've heard, and it's actually, I'll be honest, I'm glad you brought up YouTube. It has been a little bit of a challenge for me to get people to come on to the podcast that are versed in YouTube, because they don't need a podcast, like the guys that are crushing it on YouTube, they don't need to go on a podcast. You know what I mean?
Well, see, I do both. See, I turn all of my podcasts, you've been on my podcast, you've been a guest on my podcast. So I do a video and then I strip the audio off. So the video goes on Facebook, it goes on LinkedIn, it goes on YouTube. And then I strip the audio off and it goes on my podcast. So I'm constantly reusing, recycling, and repurposing my content. I'm putting it on various different platforms.
Yeah.
I'll take, an interview I do and I'll turn it into a blog post, an article.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think it can be limited thinking to say, well, I'm crushing it on YouTube, I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, every platform changes. YouTube's going to change. It's going to change, and it's not going to be as easy to create the audience on YouTube as it is right now.
Right. You're right. You're a smart
So-
woman. You are. I like, honestly, I just, even meeting you that first time getting onto your show, I'm like, man, I've got to get her on my podcast, because I love having the story, the story of people who did it. Like, it's so important for everybody who's out there just getting started to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that this isn't just an illusion. It can happen, and it does happen for people. So that's so inspiring. And to hear just your whip smart, I love your energy. You've just got a great story. You've got good advice and straightforward, to the point information. I want to go check out your YouTube channel, because it sounds like something that's right up my alley anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. So
yeah.
here's the thing, I talked about diversifying income sources, which I absolutely think you want to do. You do not want all your eggs in one basket, and you have to diversify your platforms. You do not want all your eggs in the YouTube basket. I mean, people have had their YouTube channels shut down. We all know that people get their Facebook accounts shut down. Not a lot of people, but some people get their LinkedIn channels accounts shut down. So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your income sources or the social media / platforms you're using. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. It's just downright dangerous, because none of us control Facebook, YouTube, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. We don't control them.
Yeah. And what else is really important, and I think we should touch on it, is it's recession proofing your business. I think, like, and even with what you're doing, diversifying and having multiple streams, multiple network marketing industry businesses, plus your coaching, plus your YouTube channel could be making money from YouTube. All of those different ways that you're doing it is so important. And I think as we move into what they're saying is going to be this next recession, we're all hearing about it. It's not a secret anymore. I think it's more important than ever to figure out a system like you have that gets all your information out and disseminates it to multiple places, so that you can be seen and heard and have the resources for people that want to buy into those things. Like right now, folks, like, get on the bandwagon, because now's the time. It's gonna be really important, and it could ultimately put us in a position, and you'll see it too, I'm sure, to become wealthier through the recession. I mean, that's always a possibility.
Absolutely. Well, the Depression was the time that more millionaires per capita were made than any other time on the planet. So, in recessions and, depressions, hopefully we're not going to go there, but, there are people who make a lot of money, and there are people who lose money, and you get to choose.
Yes.
Honestly, choose which one you're going to be.
I love that. It's so true. Well, where can people find you? Do you want them just to head to your YouTube channel, or would you rather them go somewhere else primarily?
Yeah, go to my YouTube channel, gloriamacdonald.com/passive. And it's MacDonald, MAC. So gloriamacdonald.com/passive.
Perfect. And we'll be sure to put that in the show notes as well. And this has just been truly awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
My pleasure.